Alright, what's up you guys? Alright, so this is just going to be a quick video. This is just a quick update. Like I've mentioned before in my previous videos, this is my 88 Sky Blue Nissan Sentra B12. Sentra XE B12. So, um, the 1.6 is awesome. You can build it quite a bit like I've mentioned before. It's stock, original little 1.6 TBI engine, throttle body injection engine. Is capable of, well, stock is only 80 to 90 horsepower. Um, and I doubled it. I was able to build it to about 160 horse, just by doing little simple things here and there, and also basically converting the TBI, which is one injector and uh, half fuel injection, half carburetor. So basically, switch that out, change that out, and make it more into a fuel injection system. So, and then just bolt-ons and little things here and there, other little uh, secrets of the trade, or of, you know, being a car guy, or car person, that I've learned how to do. But yeah, was able to get it to about 160, 165. But it's capable of a lot more. You can get them up to 200, uh, well over 200, 250, 300. Like I said, even 350, 400. Of course, that's all engine with crazy boost, of course. That's all boost. Um, and then with spray, you can get them even higher, 550, maybe 600. But instead of doing all that, I've always wanted to do, like I've mentioned before, is my short-term goal is to basically just swap it out to SR20 DET turbo, red top or blue top. So basically, that's you know what I'd like to do, short-term and long-term goal, unless I end up changing my long-term goal, which I'll tell you that in a minute. So that's basically what I want to do. Those are my options. Either the SR20 DET turbo, red top or blue top, or the Neo VVL turbo. Either one of those. The Neo VVL turbo is another one as well. So either one, you can get anywhere from 300, 400, 450, all the way to 1,000 horsepower plus, easy. So, and a torque will be very far up there along with the horse. So, you know, that's basically it. SR20 turbo or Neo VBL turbo. Now, and there's other options that I can do. I can probably do you know, a 2.5 liter 4, boxer engine. As a matter of fact, STI Cobbs. You can do that. Convert it from front wheel drive to all wheel drive. So, or this would be more, but that would be more of a long-term goal, converting it to all-wheel drive, and also the other option, which is also a long-term goal, would be converting it to rotary, the best and newest of RX-7, and best and newest of RX-8, like the 13As and Bs, especially the 14A and 14B rotaries. Yeah, you know so that's basically it, and convert it to from front wheel drive to rear wheel drive, for the rotary. So that's another option, that I can do. Turbo boosted. And then you can always hook up all these engines can be boosted, and you can always set them up with nitrous, 150, 200 shot spray wet, you know, or more. But another option, like I mentioned before, is also Z31 turbo and twin turbo, believe it or not. And yes, even Z32 turbo and twin turbo, actually. So I just researched it, and I just learned that yes, it's not just the Z31 turbo and twin turbo. Z32 turbo and twin turbo can also fit in there. Basically about, it's basically the same thing as the Z31. The Z32 is not that much more different. So size-wise, at least. So, and obviously convert them to rear-wheel drive. I mean, then not only 1,000, but with the rotary, you could do well over 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, well over 1,200 horse. You know, and that's just all engine with with all boost. But you can still hook up spray to them. At least 200 shot. So that's a quick summary, briefly, of what I'd like to do, short-term goals and long-term goals for my 88 Sky Blue 88 Nissan Sentra, or Datsun, Datsun Nissan Sentra XE B12. And over here, I have my, as you know, my 88 uh, Toyota Supra MK3 Mark III Supra with the 7M GE motor, which originally stock is about 190 horse, 200 horse, but I have it up to about 250 horse, just bolt-ons. This one was actually easier and less work and less money, and I'm able to get a lot more power. The Sentra, I actually spent a little more money and it was more work and time to get it to more power. Well, within reason, not really, because it was actually pretty affordable, and I got a lot of power out of that one. But this one's a lot more, obviously. I mean, it already starts with a lot more. But anyways, so my short-term goal, like the Sentra I mentioned, the power plants that I want for short-term and long-term. But I'm probably gonna my SR20 and Neo VVL, the SR20 turbo, Neo VVL turbo, turbos or twin turbos each, whatever. In other words, either the SR20 turbo or twin turbo. Well, turbo, because there's really no twin turbo. You can make them into twin turbos though. But anyways, um, on the B12, on the Sentra B12, most likely it's going to be SR20 or Neo VVO for the short term and long term, unless in the long term I decide to do the other options, like I said. Okay, so anyways, getting back to the 88 Supra. Um, my short-term goal on this one is to just build the original 7M GE motor. Like I've said before, I can get it up to not just 350 horse and torque, or four, well, but yeah, as much as 400 horse and torque. And you can always hook it up not just with a 100 shot of spray, but 150 shot of spray, because it's built for it. So that instantly puts you up to 550 horse, 550 foot-pounds of torque. And that's as far as I can go, uh, most likely, for the 7M GE motor, considering it's NA. But long-term goal on this one is to swap it. I've always wanted to swap it with a 1JZ turbo, 1JZ GTE, in other words, a 1JZ GTE, or I believe it's called 1JZ GTTE. In other words, two T's, twin turbo. And I've always loved the 1J, and I've been curious, because that's like the one right before the 2J, but between the 7M GTE motor, which is that my white 87 back there, my sky blue 89 back there. Those two Supras are 7M GTE motors, or 7M GTE engines, or turbos. The white's 87 and the blue's 89. So, anyways, long story short, I guess, basically, long-term goal, switch this to 2JZ, turbo or twin turbo. I've always wanted the 1J, but I'm going to go with 2J, because it's just probably best bet in every sense of the word, So instead of going, 1J, I'm just going to go straight to 2J. That's my long-term goal. Go to 2JZ, turbo or twin turbo, 2JZ GTE or 2JZ GTTE, I guess is what you would call it. But yeah, 2JZ, that's my long-term goal for this. Long-term goal is 2JZ turbo or 2JZ twin turbo, and go crazy. 15, 16, 17, 1800 horsepower, 2000 horsepower, whether it's with spray or without spray, 200 shot spray or more, bigger with or without, but it's going to be 2000 horsepower. And that's basically what it's going to be for all three. The white 87 in the background, this maroon 88 you see right here, and the 89, the sky blue, the 89 sky, or the sky blue 89, uh, the one that you see next to the white one. So all three Supra, all three MK3 Mark III Supras are going to be long-term goal. That's what it's going to be, 2JZ turbo or twin turbos. But before I get to that, let's go over here to the white, or actually, we'll come back to the white one. Let's go straight to the 89, the sky blue 89 turbo Mark III MK3 Supra turbo, which is 7M GTE. So you already know what I can do with the original power plant for the 88, but the white 87 next to it and this 89, they're both not just 7M GE motors, or engines, they're 7M GTE engines. So the turbos makes a world of a difference. On this one, it's already well over 200, 300, whatever. Well, the white one, turbo, because it's turbo and it's still stock. This one's already been built to 550 horsepower, 500 foot-pounds of torque. But this one right here, to the wheels, I can get it up to 1,300 horsepower to the wheels. Not just 1,000, 1,300 horsepower to the wheels with this original 7M GTE motor, just fully rebuilt, fully built up, fully souped up. 1,300 horsepower to the wheels, which is 1,600 horsepower to the crank, and well over 1,000 foot-pounds of torque to the wheel. Actually, over 1,100 foot-pounds of torque to the wheel, which is as much as 1,400 foot-pounds of torque to the crank. So, that's a 7M. It's that capable. It's that awesome. So it's an outstanding engine, the 7M GTE. So the 1JZ with all the more reason, the 2JZ with all the more reason. The 1J and 2J turbos and twin turbos, GTEs. So, yeah, you're capable of doing a lot, but that's short-term goal for both of these, the white 87 and the sky blue 89, you know. Um, the long-term goal is to just swap all of them. The maroon 88 MK3 Mark III Supra, um, well, yeah, to swap all three of them. This white uh, 87 MK3 Toyota Supra Turbo 7M GTE, this maroon 88 Toyota Supra 7M GE, and this sky blue 89 Toyota Supra MK3 Mark III 7M GTE. All three of them, the 87, the 88, and the 89, all three MK3 Supras. The turbos and the NA will all be converted to 2JZ turbos or twin turbos with the 5-speed manual trannies. And I'm just going to go all out. Why hold back? I was thinking before 15, 16, 17, 1800. No, I'm just going to go all out. I'm not going to hold back. Why? Why hold back? Just go all out. All, full throttle, all, open up all the way. 2,000 horsepower. That's what I'm going to do for the white 87 MK3 or Mark III Supra Turbo, for my 88 Mark III or MK3 Supra, and for my 89 uh, Mark III MK3 Supra Turbo. For all of them, for the 87, the 88, and 89, the white, the maroon, and the blue. That's what I'm thinking about doing. Just go all out. Forget it. Just go all out. And you guys already know what I'm going to do for the B12. I already told you guys that. On this one right here, on the Probe GT, which is basically a Mazda MX-6, it's 93. I'm going to do the same thing, except this one's going to be there is no short-term and long-term goals on this one like the others. This one is just the goal, which is almost done, and it's both short term and long term. It's just one goal, one big goal wrapped up into one. So the original KL motor or KL engine, basically just keep that. So very capable, enormous potential into that engine. It's very, it's a very good engine, you know. So that one's going to be fully built, the engine, but boosted all the way. Instead of NA, it's going to be boosted all the way with spray and everything. It's going to be a daily driver, handle your business, go to work, you know, go, work your business, go to business. Also, go shopping, go get the groceries if you have to, whatever, everyday driver, you know. It's going to be smooth and comfortable, at least within reason, but a lot of fun. You can have fun with it on the weekend, but everyday driver mostly, Well, it's going to be perfect balance of everything. Where the other ones, uh, are going to be mostly weekend warriors. The 88 and 89 Supras are going to be weekend warriors for circuit track uh, road racing, time attack. You know, they're going to be a perfect balance of everything. You can do everything, eighth mile racing, quarter mile racing, circuit track road racing, time attack. You could drift. You could do a lot of top end. It's going to be very good at that. It's going to be its strongest point right there, besides circuit track road racing and all the others like eighth and quarter mile. But top end is going to be a very strong point, one of the strongest. You can do a lot of top end with it too. But for instance, the 87, the white 87 Supra, that one's going to be set up more for eighth and quarter mile strictly. That kind of racing, like eighth mile and quarter mile drag racing, JDM drag racing. You know, basically that's what it's going to be, JDM eighth and quarter mile racing. The white 87 Supra and my 88 B12, they're perfect straight line cars, perfect A to B, especially the 88 B12 and the 87 uh, Supra as well, because if I keep it automatic like it is, then it's perfect. You don't have to worry about shifting gears or missing gears or anything. You know, um, it's basically meant for quarter mile, eighth and quarter mile racing, because automatics actually, honestly, in the long run, it kind of does end up being better in a way within reason for eighth and quarter mile racing, because there's no loss of time, there's no risk of missing gears, there's no shifting. It just goes from one gear to the next. Unless you're very good at double clutching and all that, the automatic's gonna be faster. Unless you're really good, double clutching and shifting gears from one gear to the next, with your stick, with your manual tranny, then you're gonna be faster. But you have to be that good. But unless you're that good, then stick is faster, but usually automatics can be faster if you're not quite to that level or that point. So anyways, so that's why I'm thinking the white uh, 87 Supra is perfect for that kind of racing. They're going to be track cars, but street legal. You can drive them every day. you know but this one right here, like I said, the probe, um, it's going to basically be everyday driver. I can get it up to probably 650, 750, 800 horsepower with this power plant right here. With the KL, probably even over 1,000 horsepower, or over 1,100, 1,200 horsepower with this original power plant. And I think that's what I'm going to stay with. Just fully rebuilt, fully built up, fully souped up, but not NA, boosted, fully boosted. Go as much boost as you can. Um, and that's about it. But being front wheel drive is probably going to be around 657, no more than 800 horse, because it's front wheel drive. Unless I don't know, maybe I can get the newer. Maybe now there's new, because with the shafts, you just reinforce them, make them stronger, no problem. But I don't know. Maybe I can go higher than that on front wheel drive, or I want to, or just reinforce my axles, whatever. But 800's good. 6 to 800's good. Now, if I want to go a lot more power, like 1,000 or well over 1,000, like I said, well over 1,100, 1,200, yeah, I could do that, but I would have to convert it to rear-wheel drive. You know, it wouldn't be front-wheel drive. That I could do, because this motor, this engine is capable of a lot more. This engine is probably capable of well over 1,200 horsepower. It's just I'm gonna have to uh, basically convert it to rear-wheel drive. Do a lot of fabricating, a lot of you know modifying, a lot of customizing. That's definitely resto modded right there. You know, JDM though. Because that's I like the JDM resto modding or JDM uh, modifications when I restore them. The JDM look or the JDM performance. I just like I'm a enthusiast of JDM, I guess, hardcore, big time, and I just love uh, JDM classic, nostalgic, vintage, retro, cars from the '60s, '70s, you know, and of course the classic retros, nostalgic, from the '80s and '90s and 2000s, you know. So yeah, um, so I'm just into that, But I love all kinds of cars, like I've said before, import, domestic, old, new. I don't care if it's American muscle, European, Korean, Japanese. I just love it all, you know. So import, domestic, old, new, whatever. But that's basically what I'm gonna end up doing, guys. Probably with the Pro GT, you know. Um, Probably just staying somewhere between 6 and 800 horse, front wheel drive, everyday driver, you know. And that's both my short-term and long-term goal. So it's really my goal. It's just short-term my goal. That's it. That's what I want to do, and that's it. It's gonna be my everyday driver. I could convert it to rear-wheel drive, but I don't know. I can convert it to all-wheel drive too. And make it an all-wheel drive. But which would, if I'm gonna do rear-wheel drive, I might as well just convert it to all-wheel drive, and I can probably push over 1,000 horse. Yeah, easy. You know, I can push over 11 or 1,200 horse. That's all I want for this one. Doesn't have to be all like 1,500 horse or 2,000 horse. Yep, and that's basically it, you guys. That's a wrap, I guess. Because even these my Supras, which will be the powerhouses, basically, obviously, of everything of my 5 project cars. Um, Even at 2,000 horsepower, man, that's a lot of power. Before 1,000 was like the end of the world or whatever. Now 2,000, but yet that's nothing still. Because now we have cars with 3,000 horsepower, 5,000 horsepower, you know? So, 2,000 horsepower or 2 to 3,000 horsepower is not really, you know, it is, but there's even more. I mean, it is, like, whoa, like the end of the world, but at the same time, there's still more, man. There's 3,000, not just 2 to 3,000. There's 3,000 and there's 5,000, and there's beyond 3,000. There's like, Uh, world records, I guess, is like 3,000, 3,500, 4,000, 4,500, 5,000 horsepower so far for internal combustion engines, gas engines on cars. You know, I'm talking about cars, not big machinery like whatever, tanks or, you know, a submarine or whatever, where they're hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands and, you know, of horsepower, and some of them are a lot more than just tens of thousands of horsepower. They're like a lot more than that, maybe 100,000 or a lot more than that. But those are like submarines and stuff like that. I'm talking about a car, okay? So that's a lot of power, man. 2 to 5,000 horsepower or more. That's just whoa. Honestly, anywhere between 1 and 2,000, man, you're good. You know. Yeah, you can do 3,000, 3,500, 4,000, 4,500, 5,000 horsepower or more, but is it really necessary? Yeah, You know, I think 2000's already too much, more than enough. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm excuse me, choking myself over here. You know what I'm saying? You know? That's a lot of power. So all right, you guys, I guess that's it. That's a wrap, man. I gotta go. So you guys already know what's up. Um, so yeah, short-term goal to wrap it up. You guys know that the 88 B12, the 88 Sentra B12 is gonna, which is probably gonna end up being short-term unless I change a short-term goal, which is probably gonna be the long-term goal unless I decide to change the long-term goal and go even further. But yeah, SR20, DET turbo, blue top or red top, or Neo VVL turbo. And over here, short term, build up my 7MGE, 550 horse and torque. Long term, 2JZ, twin turbo, 2000 horse. And torque is like insane. Same thing, same goal for the 87 Supra, 7MGTE. Long term goal, that's the same. Well, let me continue with the short term first. Both of these, the 87 and 89 MK3 Supras, these turbos will be built up. Short term goal 1300 horsepower to the wheel, 1100 horsepower to the wheel. 1300 horsepower to the wheel, 1100 foot-pounds of torque to the wheel. 1600 horsepower to the crank, 1400 horsepower, 1400 foot-pounds of torque to the crank. That's with the 7M GT motors. Long-term goal, 2JZ, twin turbo or twin turbo swaps with the 6-speed manual converted to that 2000 horsepower. So there you go. The 87, the 88, and the 89 long-term goal, which is not that far off actually, so it's not that long-term. 2JZ turbo or twin turbo, 2000 horse, fully built, fully souped up. Everything's going to be done right. All three are going to have new, tasteful, done right, body kits that are proper. It's going to be done right, tasteful, like I said. It's going to be done properly. Body kits, carbon fiber hood, carbon fiber uh, headlight covers, fiberglass fenders, carbon fiber mirrors, carbon fiber doors, carbon fiber wing, new rims and tires, you know, and all the suspension and brakes redone. That one already has all the suspension done to it. Full intake, full exhaust, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, that one will probably be redone, and then all of these suspensions will be done up. Everything on all three: suspension, brakes, engine, tranny, all the components, all the mechanical and electrical components around both the engine and tranny will be done. You know, full intake, full exhaust, full roll cage, just two racing seats, gutted, fully gutted, just insulation from the middle point to the front, to keep the heat out. And all the body work, all the paint, new paint. The 88, I'm just thinking about, probably doing like a brandy wine maroon color to it, you know, with that deep gloss to it. Probably throw on some white pearl candy maybe on it. Um, and mix it up with black, with the carbon fiber, you know. Um, so basically, that's what I'm thinking of. Some nice big black rims on all three of them. Three different sets, with low pros, low profile, 50s, 40s, series tires. Um, Something like that. Maybe some 17s, 18s. Or unless I just decide to go with the original 16 size and just same stock size, just new rims and tires. Because I kind of prefer, to be honest with you, the original size better for performance. 17, 18 though, it's just as good and it looks better, but 16 I think it's just a little bit more performance. But okay, so anyhow, what else? Well, I meant to do this to do a quick video, but it's already half an hour, so I might as well just do several more minutes of it and wrap it up. All right, so basically, um, that's it. What else? That's basically it. I mean, after I do on all five of my project cars, the 88 B12, you know, this 93 Probe GT with the KLDE or KLZE turbo, J spec. Well, it will be converted to that. With this 87 Supra 7M GTE, with the 89 Supra 7M GT, and like I said, with the 88 uh, Supra 7M GE, with all the 87, the 88, and 89 Supras, and the 88 Sentra B12 and a 93 Probe GT, all of them that's what they're going to be done. Um, basically they're all going to be rebuilt, redone, everything. Like I said, basically, to sum it up, on the 88 Nissan Sentra B12, I'm just going to swap it to a SR20 DET turbo, red top or blue top, and build it to at least 600 to 800 horsepower, or well over 1,000 horsepower, whether it's with spray or without. But that's what I'd like to do. Either that or with the Neo VVL, either power plant, SR20 DET turbo, red top or blue top, or the Neo VVL turbo. So that's what I'd like to do. 600 to 800, if not 1,000 plus, over 1,000 horsepower, with or without spray, whether it's all engine and boost, or all engine, and boost plus spray. So that's what I'd like to do for the my Sentra B12. For my 88 Nissan Sentra B12. Um, Short-term goal, which will probably remain as my long-term goal unless I decide to switch up my long-term goal and convert it to rear-wheel drive. And if I do that, or all-wheel drive, because if I do all-wheel drive, I'll just stick a 2.5 STI, Subi engine in there, Cobbs, make it all-wheel drive. That'll probably be the fastest, within reason that it'll probably be, or a nice little setup right there, or probably among the very best setups. Unless I just convert it to a rear-wheel drive, you know, and go rotary. The best of the RX-7 and newest of the RX-7. In other words, the best and newest and best of RX-7's power plants. You know, and newest and best, or best and newest of RX-8 power plants. But like the RX-7, like the 13A and B, especially, most especially the 14A and 14B. What? Whoa. That kind of power plant, if I convert the 88 B12 into rear wheel drive, if I decide to go, that's like long term, then yeah, I can go rotary. I can do that in over 1,000 horsepower, well over. Or I can do Z31 turbo, or twin turbo, or Z32 turbo or twin turbo, uh, swaps with a 6-speed manual tranny that goes married to the Z31 and Z32 turbos and twin turbos, and just convert it to rear wheel drive. If I'm gonna do rear wheel drive, and then I can get not just over 1,000, but probably over 1,100, 1,200 or more, horses out of it. So that would be long term. So that's basically it for the B12 on short term goals and long term goals. So, and then like I said, you guys already know what's up with the Supras, the 87, the 88, and 89. Build them up with their original power plants, you know, um, all the way. Like The 88, since it's naturally aspirated, 7 MGE, 550 horse, 550 torque, with the original power plant fully built, fully souped up NA. But these are turbo 7M GTE, so 1300, actually 1500 horsepower and about 1300 foot-pounds of torque. Uh, you know, with these original power plants fully built, fully souped up to the wheel, guys. That power that I mentioned for the 88s to the wheel, 550 to the wheel, horse and torque. This one's 1500 uh, horse to the wheel and 1300 foot-pounds of torque to the wheel, with the original power plants fully built, fully souped up, rebuilt, obviously. But those are short-term goals. The long-term goal is to all three, the white 87, the maroon 88, and the sky blue 89, all three MK3 or Mark III Supras, to be swapped to 2JZs, uh, twin turbos, 2JZ turbos or 2JZ twin turbos, and just go all out. No holding back, just everything, just all out, full throttle, you know, open all the way. Just, no holding back, all out. 2,000 horsepower with the 2JZ turbo and 2JZ twin turbos. Either 2JZ turbo or 2JZ twin turbo on all three. The 87, 88, and 89 Supras. At 2,000 horsepower, there's not too much that's going to be really getting with you on the road, on the street, on the highway. Even on a track, they're going to have to pull out their big boys to get with you. And especially if they want to beat you or try to beat you, they're going to have to come up with more than 2,000, 3,000 horsepower, 5,000 horsepower or more. They're going to have to come out with more, and that's not just easy. So that's basically it, guys, for the short term and long term goals for my 88 B12 Sentra and my 87, 88, and 89 MK3 Supras, turbos and NA. And you guys already know what my goals are, which there's no long term or short term on this one, or short term and long term. It's just the goal, the goal, or the goal to just, like I said, build this one up. 6 to 800 horse, torque about the same, everyday driver, you know. That's it. All of them street legal, but the difference is that the 88 B12 and this white 87 Supra are going to be set up more for basically eighth and quarter mile racing, you know, for the straight line more than anything, especially the B12, the 88 Sentra B12. That one's perfect. It's meant for the straight line, A to B. So that's what that one's going to be focused on. And so is this one, because it's automatic. So like I said before, it's perfect for shifting, for drag, for quarter mile, eighth and quarter mile JDM drags, races. And that's it, guys. That's a wrap. I'm done. I'll catch you guys on the next video. This is about the end, though, about my cars. I'll explain later why, but this is probably one of my last videos, you guys. It's getting down to maybe a few videos, no more than several. All right, you guys, that's a wrap. And that's it. Catch you guys on the next one. Later.